everyone, today I'm going to be talking about if you should buy an iPad if you're a student or you shouldn't buy one. I'm going to be talking about the iPad I have, the pros, the cons, and how to make the best use of it, and my advice at the end. So if you're curious about it, then please keep watching. So first, I'm going to be showing you my iPad. This is the iPad Air 5th generation with the M1 chip. So it's the first one with a Apple Silicon chip. And I have the Apple Pencil too. I chose this iPad because it has a good screen. It doesn't have big bezels. It doesn't have a home button too, so there's just more space for display. It does have the Touch ID button right here to power it on, and it has laminated display, so that means there's no air gap between the screen and the display underneath. That is with the normal iPads you can buy. It does feel hollow to me, so that's why I initially went for this one. And I got the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. You can see it right here. It does have the magnetic charging, so it's basically always charged, and it's way much nicer to use instead of the USB-C version or the Gen 1, because you have to plug it in with a cable or something, and it's really inconvenient in my opinion. So that's why I really love this Apple Pencil. It also has the double tap feature, which means if you double tap the Apple Pencil on this side, it will change to your eraser or back to your pencil if you're writing. I do really find it annoying because it feels really unnatural when writing. You have to like tap it like that. It doesn't feel very nice in my hands. It happens a lot of times that I'm writing and suddenly it switches to my eraser, so then I have to like redo everything, and then really annoying because I usually just click on the eraser instead of double tapping my pencil. I tried it many times to get used to it, but I don't really like it. Right now I use this magnetic case, which means that you can just take it off. And there's my iPad. It's in the color Starlight. I really like it. It's really thin. With a magnetic case, you gotta watch out because I got some scratches on some of the corners. That's a con of using one of these magnetic cases, but they close your screen automatically. It's really nice. This one's pretty strong too. I can link it down in the description if you want to use it. Sometimes it did drop out, it did fall out, but it was my own mistake because I did something weird with it, like started swinging or picking it up in a weird way. That's why. I really like the nice size of this one because you also have 13-inch iPad Airs. I think that's a little bit too big. It starts to look like a laptop instead of an iPad, and it's bigger than your phone, so it's, for me, that's enough. It's very thin and light. That's also because it's the iPad Air. It's supposed to be light. It's pretty nice. It's really nice in the hands to hold. I can hold it up. It's not too heavy. And that's it about the look and feel of my own iPad. So now we're going to be started to talk about the pros of getting an iPad. One of the pros of getting an iPad for school or as a student, or just using it in general as a student maybe, is the bigger screen, because you can do so much more tasks on it. You can use it for reading books, reading something for school, like about an assignment. It's just bigger, it's easier to read, it's nicer, and it's not on your phone where you like have to hold it, and like that just doesn't really work. And also when you want to watch a movie, it's just way nicer to do it on a bigger screen and just keep your phone on the side. And the bigger screen is also nice when you want to book like a vacation or something. Just a bigger screen to do things on. Another pro is that you can take notes on your iPad. You can take notes on PDFs, like the assignment you got from school, something that you have to fill in, a form or anything. You can scan in your documents and put them in your iPad and take notes on them. So that's really nice. You're saving also a lot of paper, and everything is really easy to erase. So if you're making a mistake, a big mistake, you can just erase it and remove it completely. So that's amazing. You can also insert photos or cute stickers, photos to like enhance your note-taking experience. If you're maybe writing something about the heart, you can insert a photo of the heart and like write everything down. Where's this part, where's that part? Also for the human body, or when you're just writing something in general, you can just see in one quick view what it's about. Maybe that's really nice for you as a student. And you just have one iPad with all your notebooks in it, instead of taking all your 7 or 8 notebooks to school, which I always had to do. And maybe you would lose them, and then you've lost maybe all your notes, all your important notes, and that's really annoying. So now you just have everything in one device. You have connectivity across all Apple devices, like with GoodNotes, so you can acquire your notes on your phone and also on your MacBook. When I had to take an exam and I forgot my iPad, I could go into my GoodNotes app on my phone and I could just read all the notes that I've taken so that I could study a little more before the exam. It's really nice. You have the infinite choice of fonts, colors, notebooks, to make your experience the best. Like when you need a certain color, you can just acquire it, you can just pick it and use that to draw something. The portability of the iPad is also nice because you can use it in the airplane to watch a movie, in the train to read your book, to edit a video for YouTube at home, or to use the split screen function to use 2 different apps or more apps at the same time. It's just really small and easy to take with you. It doesn't take up a lot of space, especially this one. It's super thin. You can also use the iPad as a second device for your Mac. So when you're having a MacBook, you can connect it and use it as your second monitor, so you can split your tasks. Maybe in one screen you put up the assignment that you have for your essay, and then the other screen or the other monitor you can write your essay, so you can just keep looking on what you have to do instead of constantly switching the window. And then the last one, which is very important for me, you can use the iPad to separate some apps that you have on your phone or on your Mac and just use it only on your iPad. So I removed all of my streaming services on my phone so that I could watch everything on my iPad. So I do have YouTube still on my phone, but Netflix, Prime, that's not on my phone anymore. I have to watch it on my iPad because it is really nice to watch everything there. The screen is just bigger, everything is nicer to view, and I have to say I really got used to it, so I really dislike watching videos on my phone because it's just too small for me. Also, when you have a video call and you don't have a laptop, really use your iPad. It's so much nicer, it's bigger, it's nicer to use, and you don't have all your work stuff on your phone. You can just keep them on your iPad or your school stuff, and you can just keep your phone free of that. So that's also a point that I really needed to get used to, but when I did, I really loved it. There are definitely some cons when you want to get an iPad or want to get into using it, which the first one is that I really did come across and had to find something to make use of my iPad, because when I graduated from high school, I didn't really have a purpose for using my iPad anymore because I wasn't note-taking that much anymore. I went into college, and there I didn't have that many subjects that required note-taking, or I didn't have that many exams. I only had 4 in one whole year, so that's not much. I didn't have to do note-taking every day. So then my iPad would just lay somewhere and not be used, and then I went over to use my MacBook completely, and then I just wasted my money. So I was like, I have to do something with my iPad. So that's the danger of getting an iPad. You have to be sure about what you're going to use it for, because if you don't use it as much as you maybe like, you're going to regret that you bought one. Because if you're just going to be using it for note-taking, then I would not recommend it. Remove all the games off of your phone and please use them on your iPad, so you can keep making use of your iPad instead of just spending money on it, then take notes, and then you're graduated from high school, and then your iPad's just gonna catch dust in your drawer and you never use it again. That's a real waste of money, and I think you can make a lot of use out of your iPad. And that brings me to the next con. Do you really just want an iPad for having an iPad because you saw it on TikTok, you saw it on YouTube, and you thought, oh, I like that so much, I really want to have one? Or do you really want to use it? Like, you have to decide which one of those two you are. If you are just going to go for an iPad because you want one, then please don't buy it, because it's going to be a waste of money. If you don't use it what it's for, don't buy it. It will be a waste. You will never use it again. Also, another one that's from different perspectives, I think it's not a good idea to turn your iPad into a laptop. If you want to use your iPad as a laptop, just buy a laptop. Don't buy an iPad. If you want to use it for note-taking, but also typing, maybe I could get my head around it. But if you really need a laptop, like for school or something, just get a laptop, because it's way more powerful. It will help you fulfill your tasks that you need to do way better. It's way faster. It's bigger and nicer to use. The external keyboards like you can buy with your iPad from Apple, I don't know why you would buy it. I mean, just get a MacBook. It's just more powerful, and an iPad is never going to be replacing a computer or a laptop. So, and the last one, iPads are also very expensive. If you really want to get a good one, it's going to be just as much as a MacBook, which is weird. Don't buy one of the more expensive iPads. It's not worth it. And you also have to think about, am I going to use it after 1 month? Because then it can be a lot of money if you dislike it. If you suddenly decide, I don't like this note-taking at all, I'm just going to go back to my notebooks and writing by hand on paper, then really don't get one. It's too expensive. Also, please keep in mind that the Apple Pencil, your screen protector, maybe you want to get the paper-like screen protector, a case, GoodNotes, Procreate, editing apps like LumaFusion, those are really expensive. That's like an additional 200 euros, dollars, whatever. So it's not cheap. If you want to get a free note-taking app, sure, then it's all fine, but it's going to be more expensive than it already looks like. Maybe get an Apple Pencil alternative, that's also something, but I'm not really a big fan of those. So I just got the one from Apple since it's the best compatibility. I think that's it. Then there are some different iPads that you can buy. First off, you have the regular iPad. That's the one that I've started out with. I really loved it. It's really nice. It does the job. The size is perfect. You can do so much on it, especially since the 10th generation. It also has the like full screen display. I think it's the best one for students. So if you really want to get one and you don't mind about getting a more high-end iPad, just get that one. Then it doesn't cost you too much too. That one does have an unlaminated display. What that means is that what I just explained, that there is an air gap between the screen and the display. So it may sound and feel a little bit hollow. For me, it was quite annoying. I really disliked it when I found out that it was unlaminated. I couldn't unsee it anymore, so I really hated it. It's compatible with the USB-C Apple Pencil. That's for the newer iPads, and with the Apple Pencil Gen 1 for the older models. Then there also is the iPad mini, which more feels like a small iPad Air. I would buy that one if you really want to have a smaller size and also have some extra money laying around, because it's not necessary. In my opinion, I wouldn't know why you'd get it, because it maybe feels like an e-reader, but then again, if you want an e-reader, just get an e-reader, don't get an iPad. It does have a better display and better speakers. It also is compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro or the Apple Pencil 2nd Gen for the older ones. So if you really want it and just get a smaller size iPad, then get that one, but it isn't as cheap. It really costs you a lot more. Then you have the iPad Air, the iPad that I like the most, if I have to be honest. It's just a little bit higher end. It can do some more. It's better. It has a better chip. It's faster because of the chip. The display is better. It's laminated. It's not hollow. It is compatible with the better Apple Pencil, in my opinion. It also feels better it also looks better if you want to watch movies or if you want to edit your videos, play some video games. It just feels a little bit better, feels nicer, faster. That's what I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. So if you are willing to spend some extra money, but you're really sure that you're going to be using it, then just get the Air. I wouldn't just randomly buy a new one right now, because I'm really happy with this one. It's really nice. It does its job so well. It also is compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro for the newer models and Apple Pencil 2 with the older models. I have the 2. The Pro is capable of more stuff and everything, but you have to decide yourself which one you want. And then you have the iPad Pro, and I still can't get my head around why you would buy one. Maybe if you're an artist, if you're crazy with doing your really demanding video editing or photo editing, I wouldn't understand why you would buy an iPad anyways. Then just get a MacBook, please. If you're really going to do stuff on it that really requires a lot of power, then please buy a MacBook. Don't buy an iPad. Maybe don't buy it if you're a student. It's not worth it. Totally not, because you're not going to be using any of that stuff. Yeah, it's faster, it's better. Only if you're like super rich, and if you really want it, which I wouldn't understand, save up that money for something else. Just save it up till you can buy a MacBook, because the most expensive iPad Pro is just as expensive as a MacBook. Just get that one, okay? Or get a really or just get an older iPad and a new MacBook. You can also just do that. So that one I really do not recommend. The last thing I'm going to be talking about is the storage space, and my opinion about it is, my advice, please get as much as you can pay for, because you will thank me later. I got I think 128 for my first iPad. I was really happy that my parents would give me that, because it helped me so much. There was so much more space for apps, games, and all that other stuff, and I didn't have the additional iCloud storage at that point, so it was really nice for me that I had some extra storage on my iPad. It's gonna get full, especially if you get these 64 gigs. Don't put any games on it, but then you can just only use it for note-taking, which is not really nice. 64 gigs is not enough anymore. Get 128 at least. I would say get 256 gigs at least, or bigger or more storage, please, because you will use it and it's going to be really nice, especially if you have to store stuff on your iPad and you don't have the iCloud storage. And then my conclusion is, if you have found more than one way to use your iPad and you really want to use it, you really have an idea of how you're going to use it, and you're really going to use it like more than a year, then yes, please get one. And if you're not really sure about it, then watch more videos about it. People explain their reasons why they would get that iPad or that one. They get the Air, they get the Mini, they get the Pro. Just watch those videos and I am sure you will make your opinion, I'm sure you will make your choice out of it. I would really say make good use of this device and its size, and then you'll probably be using it almost every day like I do. That's probably it for this video, so I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you probably in the next one. Bye bye.